Good morning, Internet.
How are you doing?
Probably terrible. It's the Internet after all.
Mm,
And of course, this time is doing auto play. Eh, when I actually don't want it. So, back to Resident Evil.
Can you enter the world of survival horror again?
Uh, probably need to figure out how to play this game again.
Oh, they
Um,
actually they rewrote the messages.
oh. Yeah, you played the original PlayStation 1 version,
Yep, I played that version.
but never this one, right?
I did watch the Dark LP of it.
Hmm. Uh, don't think I need the emblem yet.
I think the biggest changes in the game are when you go outside, basically, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, after you get the masks.
Ah.
So I remember that they added an entire little subplot there.
Hmm. Yeah, you were also told that the masks were not a thing in the original?
Uh, they weren't actually, I think.
Huh.
So again, I can't quite remember exactly how things differed since it's been a while since I also played the original Resident Evil.
I see.
I
So,
played it when I was a kid, but
current mission is getting the 4 masks, and we have this missing music thingy, and I think we found the other part already, which I
good thing.
put in the teleporter chest, which is...
It's a good thing that Jill took those piano lessons and Chris.
Yeah, the question is, what is the best way to access that area? Alright, that should work out.
I do like the little differences between the playthroughs depending on the characters.
Like
It's
Barry
nothing.
not being around when you're playing as Chris.
Yeah, so you actually die there. And Chris having to wait for Rebecca to learn how to play the via piano.
Alright, onwards to this room full of 2 zombies.
Mhm.
It's a room I mastered as kid, not so much nowadays, as one can see. I think there should be a zombie around in this room as well. Or not.
Actually, have you been in the gallery yet?
Don't think so. But here is the silly musical score. Alright, and back to the piano, I guess. This probably nets us a mask or something.
Hmm. I think you also have to do the thing in the greenhouse, don't you?
Yeah, haven't done that one yet because I didn't find the greenhouse. Hello there. Were the crows around when I entered this room for the first time? I don't think so.
Hmm. Yeah, those are new.
I don't trust the crows, let's say that. Of course.
That guy's corpse.
Uh,
But
I totally knew he was there, but... Alright, time to play some piano.
hope you know how to do the Moonlight Sonata.
I don't. I'm not a very musical being. I wonder how would you set up a thing like that?
How could you do that?
Oh, I think I now know where the emblem is used, we found.
Ah, yes, the architect. Oh, she's safe in a way, I guess.
The daughter, you mean? Because
Yeah.
I don't think we ever meet the mother.
And also, you should really take a look at the Umbrella Chronicles, which interprets all the Resident Evil games as light gun games, and also has a special mode where you basically play as Wesker in each game. And Wesker's part is him literally just fighting his way out of the lab through the mansion, and then actually fighting Jessica out again. Also, he's constantly going on like this power, but you get killed in like 3 shots landing. There's also a really fun scenario where you fight 2 Mr. X's in a missile silo, and you're just constantly wall jumping off the walls while doing it.
Alright, let's grab that silly emblem. And hopefully not get grabbed by Mr. Zombie again. Hello there. I think he has seen me. I would prefer it if the zombies don't eat me. Oh. I need
Kind
some
of
healing
wonder
after
though. They said that they restored. Actually, no, that was Metal Gear Online. I was just thinking if they maybe restored the Resident Evil Outbreak. You remember that?
Wasn't that the online thingy?
Yeah, that's the online one for PlayStation 2.
Hmm.
And it was silly as hell from what I remember.
Because of course it is. It's Resident Evil after all. When did that series actually stop itself taking seriously?
Honestly,
Oops.
I feel that must have happened somewhere around Code Veronica, honestly. Although, to be fair, Resident Evil 2 and 3 are also pretty silly.
Huh. The two I never played.
Now, this is also a very silly game if you actually look at the original acting.
Right, time to play with some clocks. Uh, Oops. Not what I wanted, but alright, I take it. Alright, it's the big one on the helmet. And the small one in the chest. So exactly the opposite I did. Huh. You know, would this clock move itself 2 times a day? Dimension key, huh? Which one is this? Alright, we have the shield key. Which means we have way too many keys right now. I really need to get rid of the sword key.
Don't just run around opening all the doors.
Speaking of, I wanna go the safe way to the teleporter chest. Because I wanna heal up. My health is not too great. There is a teleporter chest nearby, but I fear I will run into that zombie again.
I've got to kill that zombie.
No. I think he has already turned into a Crimson Head. I'm not sure if you can even kill those.
You can light them on fire, can't you?
If you try that, they just stand up again, if I remember correctly. Alright, this way is no longer safe.
Oh.
Yeah, this is also not safe anymore. If there is a zombie right here, I will scream.
World of survival horror. can pick that up. Can pick up that herb.
Theoretically, yes, I can. I also have like a million first aid sprays.
Are you playing on easy?
Yes. Even if I wasn't dying to like the second zombie on my first attempt here would have cured me of that idea. Alright, let's save, do some inventory management and open some doors.
That reminds me of Resident Evil 3's easy mode.
Oh.
Where the chest has the shotgun in it, a machine gun, 2 full clips of the machine gun, and 100 shotgun shells.
Huh. Alright, there is a locked door up there. So let's check that out first. What I have... Oh, there is also a helmet key. Come on, game. Also, it's really fascinating with owning an apartment. Like, you have one key for every door. What is it with this mansion and half the keys working on 5 or 6 random doors? It's kind of weird.
Well, it keeps the staff on their toes, you know. Having to remember all of the keys and...
Can we fight the snake already? I'm not sure on that one.
You got the shotgun, right?
I got a shotgun. Let's check out the snake.
I mean, you could always skip fighting the snake if you want.
Yeah, but we want revenge for Richard, right? Where is the shotgun? Not that I have many shots for this thing.
I can use your grenade launcher.
Yeah, I could take the grenade launcher. I think it's currently armed with regular shells, which aren't that good anyway. So, off it goes. And because I'm terrible at this game, let's take 2 first aid sprays with me.
I do wonder. They're just checking out some reports about people eating people here in the hills. Why are they taking a grenade launcher with them? Is that more a weapon for when you have to, like, breach a building?
Yeah, maybe flash grenades would make us kinda sense in case of getting a guy off you if he tries to eat you or something. There was a law change in Bavaria recently.
Oh, can the police use grenade launchers now?
No, they now have flash grenades on them by default.
Hey, Richard.
Or smoke grenades, I'm not sure on that one actually. Yes, we finally can get rid of a key. Inventory space 1. Is the snake
That
already
honestly
here?
doesn't look like a door that you would need to knock.
Yeah, like you can kick it in or just
Yeah.
use the grenade launcher on it.
I can't remember if it was this game or if it was Zero, but I think there was at least one Resident Evil game where they like advertised being able to kick in the doors to skip the loading.
Payback time.
I was clearly shooting Richard there, but
Thanks.
No, that's easy mode for you. Well, there it goes.
Richard!
if you shoot quickly, he's still alive.
He's still got the serum inside him, so he can be poisoned.
Well, see ya. Now I have a problem.
No?
My inventory is full. Which means I need to come back for the shotgun at some point. Ah. Which also means I need to deal with this zombie here. Oh, never mind. You are new?
Oh.
He was standing exactly where Richard was. So I assume Richard turned into a zombie and the other guy who got eaten by the snake was someone else.
Maybe the zombie chased Richard into the snake room.
I wonder, can you actually kill the snake?
Not yet, I think. But, again, don't quote me on that, because I really don't know the specifics of this game that well. I think he shows up later after you've been outside again, and then you can kill him for Richard's shotgun, I think.
The shotgun was already lying there.
Oh,
Yep, that's
then
why
what
I'm
did
going
you
back
get?
there.
Then what did you get for that?
A mask. Oh, you mean the return of the snake? I have no idea.
No, the snake will return.
Oh.
Be great if Shining was here to explain this. He actually knows this game. In fact, he actually streamed it before once.
I know he streamed Resident Evil 2.
I think he streamed almost all of them. Actually, yeah, he did stream all the PlayStation ones.
Huh.
I think he was preparing to do Zero, but I haven't seen him play it yet.
Kinda sad about that, but because I don't know the original Resident Evil, neither do I know 2 or 3. I've heard silly things about 3 though.
The 3 ends with you fighting the Nemesis in Umbrella's like junkyard. where they have a fully working railgun that are just tossed away in favor of the zombie juice.
As we will probably not return here. Let's take these things. And off to the teleporter chest. I wish I had one of those. Would be so convenient. Oh no, you're not placing a zombie in this room. Come on, game.
You know, I think I really should like look for every like PlayStation era survival horror game.
Oh.
Just because I'm kind of curious about how many there are and what they all do, even though they're all probably awful.
I wanna be honest, the only survival horror game I played on the PlayStation was Silent Hill.
Silent Hill is good.
It is. It has its flaws, but it's kinda alright.
I personally still prefer the original Silent Hill a little bit over 2, even though I acknowledge 2 as being really good. But I feel I kind of like it when games overcome their technical limitations, and I think original Silent Hill is a pretty good example of that, of how they use limitations of the PlayStation to create a good atmosphere to it. Yeah. I mean, the original Resident Evil Health has a bit of that. I still think both are pretty decent looking games, even if they've aged quite a bit. But again, I've never been that big on like the cutting edge of graphics personally either.
It's especially worse about movies, where CGI is doing bad things to movies mostly.
Basically, I like it when people overcome the limitations of their medium. Which is sort of why I kind of want to stream Parasite Eve 2 once, but I'll probably never come around to it.
That game.
Well, what's wrong with Parasite Eve 2? It's a fun game.
I've mostly heard terrible things about the story.
I don't remember anything that terrible. I mean, it's a silly PlayStation survival horror game, but it's not. I don't think it's particularly worse than, say, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Hello, LaRuja.
Oh, I'm in stream mode. I don't hear buddings.
Oh wait.
Alright, there are 2 locked doors.
Shining.
Huh?
What?
Oh.
Shining is that.
Oh, hello.
So, Shining, you've actually played this game, right?
Normally, yes.
Because I only played the original.
So, someone here who can actually help me with this game.
Ah.
I guess let's check out these 2 locked doors, even if I'm pretty sure the eastern one in the next room is locked until endgame. Don't nail me on it though. Maybe this time I can erase it? Yes.
With all the talk about randomizers, Starla?
Oh, Resident Evil randomizer?
Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64 had a built-in randomizer. That would switch every item drop in the game except for like key items, I think. Which meant that you could find the grenade launcher in like the starting gun shop or something.
Oh, this was not a successful run through these two rooms. Everything is locked. Right, that means where can we go?
Well, at what point of the game are you at exactly?
I'm trying to get the 4 masks.
We found one of them, the one dropped by the snake.
We found a second one, but I forgot where we got it.
Oh yeah, Shining, how does the sequence with the snake work if you save Richard?
Why did Richard die?
Richard got saved and he helped you fight the snake, then got eaten by it. Then the snake just sort of buggered off.
Like, will we ever see the snake again? Because we are unsure on that.
After you go through the entire... I'm not really sure what the building is called. I assume at least the guardhouse. Once you've gone through that and then go back to the main mansion, then yes, you need to fight the snake again. Though he's a lot easier to deal with during the second encounter because there's a lot less bits in the environment pretty much, blocking your way.
The first encounter with the snake went pretty well. But we used explosives on it.
Oh yeah, Dara, you know what survival horror game you should stream?
Oh?
Dino Crisis 2.
I only heard good things about that one.
Yeah, Dino Crisis 2 is a great game. Dino Crisis 1 is very shit.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's a really tedious game, in my opinion.
Tedious, yes.
Meanwhile, Dino Crisis 2 feels like they built like an entire game around Mercenaries mode before Mercenaries mode was a thing.
So for fuckerino's sake.
RIP.
RIP indeed. Alright, this is kinda bad.
You know, you could try and use the incendiary grenades you got to light up all 4 of them.
Oh, wait, you didn't go into the room with the paintings yet?
Don't think so, and I fear I have to break this door now.
Well, you have to go into that room and solve the puzzle there in order to get one of the other masks. It also helps open up a shortcut and everything that leads to, I think, the graveyard where you need to put the masks.
Yeah, I was trying to open that room. You probably can't see my mouse. Isn't it the one... Oh, no, it's here. Alright. Yeah, that is my next destination. Let's save, because we haven't saved ever since the snake. Before the snake, I wanna add. Where are all these zombies coming from?
Well, I'd assume they burst in from
Yeah, the
previous room and
with
everything.
Alright, time for this thing. I forgot how this works.
It's essentially just the painting at the very end. You just have to match up the colors of her accessories to that of the paintings.
I think it's purple there in the background.
If I remember correctly, the necklace one had to be purple, the bracelet had to be orange, and the crown had to be green.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that yellow counts as orange, but what is the worst that can happen? Like,
Well, if
this.
it's anything like the PS1 original, then yeah, a bunch of crows will start attacking you. I think I remember hearing somewhere that in that is the Perry novelization adaptation of the first game, they try to explain it by claiming that the railings that they were resting on was supposed to be electrified, which is what caused them to suddenly go aggressive.
Oh,
Or you can just run in and out to reset the crows.
or shoot them all.
Oh no, I like the crows. They add a bit of a Hitchcockian flavor to the scenery.
Well, now they are gone.
Oh.
Oh, this might actually be all 4 masks, I'm not sure.
Well, did you do the one with the one where you open up a secret wall if you play the piano?
Yes. And then there's one with some fisherman equipment, I think. We're going for the teleporter chest anyway, so... Ah!
Right, what was it that you had to use some herbicide in order to kill a plant?
No, that one I'm missing.
Well, time to eat another herb.
Yeah. Alright, to get the herbicide, I saw that one, we need to get to the northeastern room there, which is quite a hike. But where was the room where I used the herbicide actually?
That's in the west wing of the first floor. I think it's that one area there that is still locked. And I think all the way in the back there's supposed to be the room where there's a bunch of weird plant tentacles or whatever just flailing about, and you use the herbicide there and then you'll be able to get the death mask.
Yeah.
And also a bunch of herbs if you have some space in your inventory to spare.
Currently, not my biggest problem. Alright, time to take a hike. And I really need to figure out where the last room with the sword key is. That is driving me insane. Yeah, stay in there. I'm kind of glad the main hall is never full of zombies.
Have you actually tried opening the front door again?
I did right in the beginning when Barry and Wesker were still around. You're not allowed to do that at that point.
You can do it now.
I don't want to fight dogs. Ah, the room with the untargetable doggy. Ow! Alright, it's targetable now, I guess. Also some fuel, I should remember that one. Might be useful to get rid of the 4 zombies out there. Maybe.
I think when it comes to 4 zombies, you're probably going to need more than 11 handgun bullets.
Hmm. Or I'd just get used to never walk that way again.
Well, that is probably for the best.
I mean, there's that totally safe walkway right over it. Unless that zombie ever gets through that door. Why do I have the bad feeling that will happen at some point? Oh. Get through.
This has happened.
I think I can take one more hit. Oh, come on. Should have taken my luck with the 4 zombies. Huh. I'm not a fan of this lack of ammunition. Oh well, I remembered that there is doggies in that room. I forget how to summon them. Alright, you said West Wing, first floor? Oh, probably there.
Whoop. Grabbed again.
Yeah, it's like I'm really desperate for these hugs. Claims there's still items in here. Can't see anything. Oh, yeah, no. That can stay here. Yes, we got rid of the armor key. Now, where is the last sword key door?
Did you go to the kitchen in the basement?
Not yet.
I'm pretty sure that's where you're supposed to use the sword key.
Oh. What? No zombie here?
Well, there are going to be some zombies bursting through the windows once you get to herbicide.
Hmm.
Yeah, you finally got the good defensive weapon.
Zombie on the ground, totally trustworthy.
Oh, how did he miss that? Crap. Oh, sorry.
Why am I even fighting these guys? For a better repack. There's apparently more in this room?
There's a diary there.
Oh.
The itchy, tasty one.
The important one, but...
Come on, get 4 itchy tasty.
I don't really have the ammunition there.
The itchy and tasty show.
Actually, I have replacement ammunition. I could totally do it. Oh. Oh, I know where the blue is. It's in my teleporter chest.
What room is this actually? Just a tiger shrine?
Yes, just a tiger shrine for some reason.
Hey, pick up that rake.
Right, how did this one work again so I don't lose the plants?
You have to twist the knob towards the red pipe, I believe.
That's too easy. Huh.
Hey, the final mask.
Yes, finally I can.
Anytime the camera changes so drastically like that, I almost think there's gonna be a cutscene.
Alright, let's summon the window zombies, I guess. And while we are at it, these as well. Oh, nope. I was totally expecting 2 more zombies coming through these windows. And let's use up all the ammunition in the original shotgun, I think.
Well, considering what you're going to find after you've used all those masks, you probably are going to need the shotgun.
Yeah, I remember a mini boss being there.
I actually thought that the red hats wouldn't show up until you fought that thing, but guess I was wrong about that.
Yeah, I thought the same, but I was proven wrong.
So I'm not sure if it's already done that, but if I remember correctly, at least once you have all the masks, at least the zombies that are wandering around the graveyard area, they should be gone. So at least you don't have to worry about that.
That is the one thing I remember from playing on easy. Those aren't around. They only spawn on the higher difficulties. You know, I have 1 grenade shell left, let's use it for glory.
Also, just out of curiosity, are you using a ISO of the US version to play this?
I think this is the US version, yes.
I think I remember hearing something about the US version having some glitch or whatever that people were able to exploit in order to get a crapload of grenade rounds.
Alright, I hear that zombie. Can't go this way. So much for my attempt to get safe through the to the graveyard. So I wonder, is that guy ever waking up? He's kind of missing his head.
We're talking about Kenneth.
Yes.
He stays dead.
Oh. I love the store inside a painting. It's so silly.
This mansion shares a lot of courtyards.
It's always the last one.
Could always read the inscription.
Nope. Oh.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit finicky on the positioning there.
Well, I guess I keep that mask then.
Isn't this guy normally down, rolled up in some chamber somewhere? I mean, wasn't this the architect?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it was ever explicitly stated, but most people do assume that that guy was probably George Trevor.
I thought there was a file that said that they basically just walled him up somewhere. At least in the original.
I don't remember anything like that.
Hmm.
I suppose it's always possible that, for whatever reason, they just decided to grab his corpse and then just stuff him in there. Because, I don't know, they have to be unnecessarily evil.
Alright, there are two places where I think you can use that one. You use this thing to get out of the mansion, if I remember correctly. So, in the northeastern part here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where you can use it.
So, off to fight for zombies again. Or we go to upper pass. We go to upper pass.
Well, actually, I think you are able to take the shortcut, so at least it's not too long of a trek there.
Oh yeah, that one I tend to forget about.
Yeah, interestingly enough, when it came to, files and everything that were written by George and everything, as Logan mentioned, they were also originally in a PS1 version, but apparently later on they decided to take them out because they figured, because apparently they kind of assumed that it would give away too much of the plot. I guess when the remake came around, they pretty much just said, fuck, the storyline is already screwed up as it is, so as well just put that back in.
Why did I go here actually?
I don't know, craft supplies.
Yeah, I don't really need any. It's more getting rid of supplies. Don't think I need to save.
Actually, come to think of it, you might want to take the crest along.
Don't I still have that in my...
I'm thinking of the other one. I think it was the Wind Crest or something.
Oh, that one.
If you take that along with you, there should be a gravestone somewhere along the way that you'll be able to stick it in, and then you get a bunch of other crests, and then you solve a quick puzzle, and then you get the Magnum.
Oh. Ooh, I made it. I don't know how I did it.
And at least it's also nice that once you come back to the mansion later on, your supporting character decided to fix the doorknob there, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I think it's actually when we return to the mansion next.
I kind of assume that they probably did that in order to throw the player a bit of a bone, because at that point they're going to have to start dealing with the hunters and everything.
At least those die permanently. First aid kit, always helpful.
Actually, it reminds me something about the hunters. So you remember how in the PS1 version they had a one-hit kill?
Yeah? Or Red on no, because I never played the first one.
Well, in the first one they had a one-hit
Gildebrand,
kill
can
where...
you hear me?
I guess I'll just wait until the cutscene's done.
Shit, it's broken.
But yeah, in the original, they had a one-hit kill where if you're really unlucky, they end up slicing your head off.
They still do have that.
Yeah, I think so, but I think in a remake, because I guess in Japan, what with, they don't exactly, or at least the Japanese ratings board is a little bit more strict when it comes to decapitations and everything. They changed it so that instead they just slit your throat.
Oh.
Oh, you forgot the winch.
Yeah, I don't think I can take it yet. So many doggies, so many doggies. Let's never go back into the dog room again.
Barry?
Monster! Chains! Gun! Ineffective! It's it! Stay away! Forest outside the mansion! Stay! Hey!
Stay away, he says, so clearly go there.
Well, it's not like you have a choice.
True. So red is east and blue is south, I think. What is the worst that can happen if I screw this up?
Well,
Oh,
at least here you don't have to worry about that.
oh, this
The worst that happens here is that you just end up having to spend more time trying to solve this puzzle.
Yeah, but I got it wrong. I think. Is this an inscription? No.
I think at the start of the area there are supposed to be signs nearby that mention stuff like revenge or destruction or whatever that also
Oh,
mention what the honestly, I don't know. I just brute forced this one and then I just try to make sure that I remember it for subsequent playthroughs.
Right. Revenge is west and destruction is north.
Man, I wanna see the Cave of Hatred.
Isn't that just Twitter?
And this is clearly wrong.
Yeah, you got the order screwed up.
No, I put both in the same way. I think. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure the blue one is supposed to be north and the red one is supposed to be west.
Right, let's try again. To open the door, align the dogs in the most stupid way possible. Oh hey, crows again.
Yeah, I think it was this area where you're supposed to be able to use the wind crest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't really want to shoot that one. Because I'm pretty sure that...
Well, most likely, if you shoot that one, all the other ones will immediately.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. Alright. Do I need to fit them into the original one?
When you examine them, you also need to push the interact button in there.
Oh,
Because apparently you need to push a button in order for those shapes to actually pop out.
game, you're silly. Hello, bird. I will soon have a magnum to shoot you. If I ever die, I want to have something like that on my gravestone as well.
Just to dispense the Magnum to anyone.
Isn't that going to be a bit difficult, though, considering Germany's strict gun laws?
Yeah, I need to put it into a locked box, but aside from that...
I mean, he's dead, so what does he care?
I don't know, maybe you could try and ask Buddy Cripple to 3D print you one?
There is supposed to be something in this room. Oh. It's not like my inventory space allows me to take this. And I'm not sure if we ever return here.
I think you do. But it's pretty late in the game when you come back here.
Oh god, I
So
remember this room. It's full of bees.
Also, I think it's fine to pick those things up because there's an item box nearby anyway.
Oh. Yeah, there is. It's already marked. Back I go. And yeah, this lengthy part leading here totally screams there should be zombies here. They will appear later.
Well, they do eventually.
Because I remember some super easy to evade zombies in the forest.
Well, at least in the graveyard section there, the one zombie that they spawn there can be very easily avoided. But the one in the other area that you were just in, That one is a lot more annoying to deal with because they decided to put them right where it transitions to, a different camera angle. So half the time when I played this game, I just ended up running straight into them.
Ah, there's only a typewriter. There should be an item box. Ah, there it is. I wonder, should we save?
You're in a new area, so
Yeah, and I have 3 of those save thingies left. And if worst comes to worst, I just shoot everything with the Magnum. Yeah, inventory management, difficult. The difficulty is saving. Wait, we get the crank here? Oh. Really, that's all there is to this?
Pretty much.
Oh. I'm surprised.
bonk.
These days I'm just sitting here thinking, regards to that character, they really miss an opportunity there by calling her Alice.
Well, to look at how well defined her butt is.
I'm really not good at navigating here.
Well, it is a pretty annoying area to deal with the changing camera angles and everything.
Right, I think that was the easy one to evade.
No, that's the one that I kept running into.
Oh.
It's the one in the next area that's really easy to deal with.
Now I will probably run into him.
Well, we can only hope, because considering that we were able to deal with the previous one rather easily, now I'm just horribly embarrassed.
apparently he wasn't even here.
Yeah, I guess he only spawns in there when you come back here later, like way later in the game.
And I totally remember the game wrong. Like I thought, oh, there's smooth sailing after you leave the mansion and you just go in a big circle and come back again. Apparently that is not the case. And some part of my bird brain thought this is actually the room that leads to the final area. Really, I have to figure out it's...
I think it's just being really finicky with the positioning again.
Alright, it finally worked. It only took like 6 attempts.
The master of cranking it.
I remember the Resident Evil series loving its cranks.
You ever play the one where you have to actually change the the thing you put into the bit to another shape?
Nope.
Yeah, it was Code Veronica, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was, but at that point they moved on from cranks and they pretty much found their new best friend, the valve handle.
The valve handle. By the way, Sean, when are you doing Code Veronica or Zero?
When I'm dead.
Well, you don't want to play through all of Resident Evil Zero?
Ooh, blue herb. What did the blue one do again? Is it against poison or some bullshit? Oh. Birds.
Actually, Code Veronica isn't that bad, is it?
It's okay, it's just that, I don't know, personally I just kind of felt like it dragged on for too long. I think it's about the length of about 2 Resident Evil games, which normally isn't that big of a problem, but since they did that in Code Veronica, it essentially means, you know, twice the amount of backtracking and trying to find a bunch of key items and everything. And then having to run all the way back because the game all of a sudden throws you a curveball and pretty much tells you this is where you need to use that item.
The one item that you can forget in the old island, so you can't get the Magnum anymore.
Oh yeah, that is just complete and utter bullshit. Which, yeah, now I just remember that whole fucking metal detector shit. God damn it.
I remember the knife was like really strong in that game.
Yeah, it was. Apparently, it has to do with the fact that pretty much with every single other Resident Evil game, it's essentially just, you know, it's just the one hit, but apparently in Code Veronica, they made it so that the knife pretty much hits things like multiple times in a single swipe.
Also, not picking up that blue herb.
I'm not allowed to use that.
Yeah, those herbs, you aren't actually able to pick them up. You just simply... They're a sort of limited resource when you get poisoned, because I think they later on toss a couple of enemies in that area where you can get poisoned. Also, I think you might be getting ahead of yourself here a bit.
Oh.
This is not how
I
this works.
don't think you need to do this entire sequence yet, because you don't have the battery in order to use the elevator anyway.
Oh, there's another door over there. I didn't see the western one. I'm silly.
The thing that really strikes me as strange about that particular cutscene is that here it looks fine, but then when they pretty much re-released the remake and everything on modern consoles and PC, for some reason that one cutscene just looks absolutely terrible in the HD version. Whereas all the other pre-rendered cutscenes seem to look fine. So I'm not really sure what went wrong there.
They lost original footage.
Yeah, probably.
It just turns into a 240p footage of a recording of a YouTube video.
And that would have been something that, with the remastered edition of this game, you just suddenly get to this part of the game that plays the cutscene, and then it's at 240p, and it has in the upper left corner a little watermark that says unregistered Hypercam 2.
Alright, they really are making clear here you can get poisoned here.
Yeah, though, thankfully it's just the spiders you have to worry about in regards to that. And I think they only show up in, like, a single room. I think at least one or two of them don't actually attack you so long as you leave them alone.
The room is only terrible if you have arachnophobia. I think I need that much shield stuff. Let's see what. And more fuel canteens. I'm really not using these things enough. I think I have burned like 3 zombies.
Well, I don't think most people really used it in this area anyway, because once you're pretty much done here, you never actually come back here, so...
Yeah, this one is probably pro game if you come with an anti-canteen here, and
I think it's primarily there because, you know, some of the zombies do show up in some rather narrow corridors and everything, so I guess it's pretty much there in order to, you know...
oh,
Yeah, you need to push a crate over there,
yeah, I realized
and then you
that.
can just climb over the crates there in order to not have to deal with taking damage from those tentacles.
wasn't part of our deal.
Like I said, I have my orders.
But it's not necessary to destroy stars.
Don't be a hard dog to keep under the porch, Barry.
What about my family?
I will guarantee their safety.
If I play my cards right.
I wonder who that other voice was.
Jill.
Barry, I heard someone talking.
Oh, heard. I think age is starting to take its toll. Talking to myself is becoming a bad habit.
Talking to yourself? You alright? What's gotten into you?
I'm getting you worried, aren't I? But don't worry. I guess this creepy mansion has gotten to my nerves. Anyway, I think I'll go outside, get some fresh air for a change. Don't worry. I'm just going to get some fresh air. If I'm lucky, I'll get to waste some monsters along the way.
Getting fresh air during the zombie apocalypse, always a good idea.
I think the line was a little bit weird in the PS1 version where he just says that, you know, I'm going to go out and get some fresh air and get eaten by a monster.
It sounds like a suicide plan. One of the more sillier beings in Resident Evil.
Please don't go into the giant plant room anymore. Okay, thanks.
Don't think this is the way I need to go, but what is the worst that could happen? Lots of crate shelving. Because it's so exciting they make you do it 3 times. I could totally jump over there. Oh, I kinda wonder what is inside these crates.
Smaller crates.
Well, whatever's in there can't be too heavy, or else those things would have pretty much sank to the bottom once they hit the water.
Nothing but bubble wrap.
Well, my first thought was corpses. Corpses float, right? At least all corpses. Oh, isn't this the shark room? I think this is the shark
Yep.
room.
I think it's also at this part, if you're playing as Chris, where Richard ends up getting killed when you saved him earlier.
Yeah, this is where Richard dies with Chris. I don't know how the shark room works again.
Just have to keep it running, or else the big shark will pop out and eat you. Crap, I just remembered. I think you're going to have to go back in order to find that power room key.
Yay! Yep, there's nothing else here, so...
There's tentacles here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they do. Do you get Richard's shotgun with Chris here?
Yes.
Hi, Shark. Hi, Big Shark. You know exactly what I want in my basement, near the power room. Yeah, the music scared me for a second there. What I want in my basement in real life, the shark tank. So, whenever I need to turn one of the power breakers, let's evade some sharks.
Well, I suppose it would be fine so long as you don't make the shark tank or something like that.
That summons bees, right? Yeah, who has the door? Oh, come on. can't just jump down on the other side. That's silly.
Things are probably going to get a little bit awkward once she meets Barry again, and he'll pretty much ask her, "What's up with those gigantic hickeys all over your neck?"
Oh, spider. Only the cheapest wine for umbrella.
Are you sure you want that herb that the spider just poisoned over?
Of course I do.
It's a bit poison, it's still good, it's still good.
Great, found something to fill up my inventory for nothing.
Well, you're going to need that later on, so
It'd be good if you could retexture that book into steal this book.
even though I think it would have been better for this kind of game that someone would just simply change the texture so that it says something like Chemical Warfare 101.
Do I need to remember that? Probably.
Yeah, you need that for in order to open up a door in one of the other areas, but I think you could also just simply brute force it.
Hi, spider. Hmm. No. There's only one room where I haven't been. Yeah. Almost went over that hole again. Because I totally love that tentacle for some reason.
Actually, come to think of it, when you were in that room that leads to the shark tank or whatever, did you actually check the bathroom?
Nope. That is
Maybe
where
the
I'm going
key
now.
might be there. Hmm. But then you're probably going to have to go back to the main hall and
Yeah, open that one door that's locked there. Also, apparently the zombie in that room is gone now. At least no more combat music.
if I remember correctly, that one locked room where you're heading for now, I think that's also where you're supposed to be able to find that one really small pistol.
Oh, that one that has one very powerful shot.
Yeah, I think so.
Always aim at Barry with that one. Yay! Throwing keys away, one of my favorite hobbies. Not trusting the man hanging on the ceiling.
I think she will have learned from the last time she did this.
Why am I pretty sure the zombie is following me? Oh. Not a fan of all this pistol ammunition.
Well, you could try combining stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the guy on the ceiling.
PS4 itchy tasty.
I don't know, I would probably take the pistol, but your knowledge on how to do suicide might vary. Well, time to save before visiting the shark tank again. Not much more, and I can switch to the shotgun as main weapon. the typewriter again.
Actually, that reminds me. So, you've been somewhat paying attention to the whole news related to the Resident Evil 2 remake?
No.
Naruzia showed me a trailer of that remake, and that is actually what got me to playing this.
Well, one interesting thing that they had shown off a while back was that they announced that they were going to release one of those super expensive limited editions or whatever. The interesting thing about that one is that with a really expensive one, they decided to add in some kind of limited edition USB or Bluetooth typewriter or something that, or at least a Bluetooth or USB keyboard or whatever that's supposed to be that's apparently shaped like a typewriter. Which, it looks nice and everything, but I think last time I checked, that particular edition cost something like 700 or 800 euros.
Can't wait for the Russia to get it so we can hear constantly over his mic. To be fair, I would actually get a keyboard like that if I could. Even though it would probably get annoying pretty quickly.
You just get it to annoy other people on Discord.
That's actually, come to think of it, that was actually something that me and my family actually had to deal with for a little bit. My brother was sort of into the whole thing of, pretty much, writing up a whole bunch of stories and everything, and we had some old typewriter lying around, so we figured, he could pretty much use that. Which, of course, that's fine, but then the problem is with the typewriter, it ends up making a lot of noise, so we just ended up regretting it later on. And then afterwards, he sort of moved on and decided to do other stuff, but then, he's been used to using that typewriter and everything for so long that whenever he was on his PC, pretty much using his keyboard, he would just punch the keys so damn hard that you could probably hear it like 2 rooms over.
People at work complain that they can hear clearly when I'm working, because then I'm typing like that. Gladly, I'm not actually working most of the time.
No, considering how often you talk about your job, I just assume you just type that hard because you're having trouble sort of, containing your rage for having to deal with that job.
It's gotten better.
Emergency. Unknown source of pressure.
Also, Greta, yes, that
Locking all doors.
typewriter keyboard should totally do the ding. Alright, how does this work again?
Critical. 10%.
Reaching
Well, then again, considering that it's, supposed to be a Resident Evil themed typewriter keyboard thing, wouldn't it make more sense for it to be something like, that you have to insert like 4 different kinds of keys just to get that thing to work?
Critical. 30%. Hey, your critical status is going up.
Yes, I need 100%.
reaching 50% of pressure threshold. Activate emergency draining system immediately.
That was probably wrong.
Well, I think the oil pressure's fine now, so...
Reaching 70% of pressure threshold.
Oh, it was actually correct. Alright, what do I need to press to make the alarm go off?
I think that console where the shark tried to burst through.
Well. No, I would have totally left here, and if it wasn't for the first aid kit I was not allowed to take.
Yeah, we haven't actually talked about this in a while, but I just remembered something. So, you remember Resident Evil 7?
Yes. At least
Were you
partly.
also aware that they made a version of that available for the Switch?
Oh, isn't that the one with the cloud streaming stuff?
Yep. And
Yeah,
from
it's
what I saw, it's
Japan
absolutely
only.
terrible.
Yeah.
Why do I not trust this shark?
Probably because he'll eat you if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You know what would be mean? If you need to shut down the electricity manually. They are starting to get generous with ammunition.
Soon we even have enemies that are worth using the Magnum on.
Mm. Alright, I guess nothing else to do here, except for the eastern part of this residence. I was hoping to get back to the mansion.
Well, I think at this point you should be able to open up that other locked door.
Yeah. It's the next door actually. And let's get grabbed here. Or not. I'm clearly great at the zombie stuff. Of course, more bees. Can I shoot the bees?
Yeah, but would honestly be a waste of ammo if you ask me.
Aww.
Yeah, you're gonna want to use that bug spray.
On the hole on the other side?
Yup.
For once I actually get a thing. We do this while getting attacked by bees. It could be worse, it could be wasps.
Yeah, fuck wasps. I don't care what anyone else says.
By the way, when I was in Germany, is it Mira's journey built on a giant wasp nest?
Yes, it is.
Because there were wasps everywhere there.
Alright, I don't think I know the solution to that yet.
Well, I could sort of give you the solution to it if you want.
Oh, it was the billiard balls, and I need to remember the color and which number it is.
And you're going to need the lighter for those oil lamps and everything in order to actually be able to see which eye symbol is assigned to which color.
This will be a lot of running around. This hallway is the worst. I want to point that out. Ow! Why am I going here? It totally is necessary to use this thing. Clearly the wrong room. Right. So, where was the billiard room actually? Oh, over here. And here I was wondering where the spider did go. Ah. Oh, Lord. Do I need to remember the symbol? Probably.
I think the most important thing you need to remember are the numbers.
Yeah, 2 to 6. That one I can remember.
I think the ones you're supposed to keep an eye on are 5, 6, and 3.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Imagine it being the guy who just sets the security code to whatever was the result of the billiard game.
Whoever doesn't like billiard is out.
I mean, Umbrella must have a lot of free board sysadmins who are just doing all kinds of random stuff to generate new passcodes. It actually sounds like a kind of awesome workplace, honestly. Just don't walk into the room with the giant plant monster.
Or, don't make fun of the one scientist that just keeps wearing sunglasses everywhere he goes.
Guess who has forgotten how this was aligned?
Well, I think at this point you can just brute force it by just going with 5, 6, and 3, and then just keep doing that until you unlock it.
Wasn't that like every combination already?
I think the problem is that you're using the wrong numbers.
I am? Yeah, I am. I'm not really sure, but I think I make it worse right now.
Yeah, sorry for being a dick, but this is kind of painful to watch.
Am I using the right numbers right now? I'm not sure.
5 and 6 are correct, but not 4.
Then that must be 3.
Uh-huh.
Wait, 5 and 4, right? And not 6? No, it was not 4, right? Brain is melting.
You don't have to use 4.
Alright. I hate stuff like that. And I have the bad feeling it's not getting better now.
Well, I guess it kind of depends. How good are you at math?
You haven't just seen being bad with 3 numbers. Wasn't there actually a text on how I'm supposed to mix this?
Yeah, there are some scribbles on the wall there.
Oh. So I assume my goal is to reach 20.
I think you're supposed to mix them all together so that you get 21.
21, alright. Let me put Notepad on the side.
Yeah, I think the problem is that in one of the later rooms you find a file that pretty much explains to you that the plant is vulnerable to a certain chemical that you can make they call feed jolt.
let's just write everything down and
Actually, just to be safe, maybe I should look into the solution to this.
now I think I remember why I liked Chris' playthrough to this more.
Okay, I was wrong. You need to just combine all that stuff until you get 20
All right.
in order to make Vigilant.
Do I have a second
Because
puzzle?
if it's anything like the PS1 original, if you end up getting the combination wrong at any point, then you pretty much lose all your progress, and then I think you also might potentially end up creating poisonous gas that does damage to you. So you have to
Right.
leave the room.
Alright, do I have yellow directly? Yes. Alright, orange is 10. So I need to make yellow again. Wait, purple, where did I get purple? Oh, it's 1 plus 3. I think I screwed this up just now.
I don't think so, because there's
Oh yeah,
one chemical that's just 6, and then you just combine it with that, and then combine it with the other one, and I don't know, profit.
wait, I just need to add red to that, I think. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't one of them supposed to be like
yeah.
3, and then the other one was 6? So you just combined the 3 with some water, and you pretty much got it.
Wait, this is. I think I got it. And
Yeah, that'll
I'll
work too.
Just add the red to that. And that's it, basically.
So of course now you need to go all the way back to where the fish tank was and where you saw those plant tentacles, and then you just use the chemical there. Well, at least you don't have to worry about, opening up a door with some
Sharks.
color-based passcode or whatever.
Yeah. Do I have enough health to get past the zombie? Probably. Of course, they make me go the long way.
I like the idea that some artists had to draw concept art for every door in this game.
They probably took turns on that. Like everyone gets a week of doors.
And here's the door to the Shark Lab.
Whenever someone at Capcom screwed something up, the penalty was, you now make doors for a week.
Say that one sprite artist for Barkley 2 that spent several months just doing nothing but drawing guns on stream.
I think in all probability, the penalty for screwing up during this development cycle was that they were reassigned to playtest Resident Evil 0.
Alright, how close do I need to get for that? I know that I had way too much fun doing the voices for the zombies. Alright. We just killed our boss that way, right?
Well, sort of.
I think it's weakened a lot now.
Of course, there's always a possibility that it's going to turn out this entire sequence wasn't really necessary, because it's possible that Barry will just show up and torch the thing with a flamethrower.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, that's something that could happen on Jill's route.
I'm not exactly sure what it is that triggers that cutscene, though. I think at least in the PS1 version, it was possible to just go to the room where the plant is and Barry will still show up to kill it for you, and you don't even have to go through the whole chemical process. But I'm not sure if that's the same in the remake. For all I know, in the remake, you actually need to go through the whole process with creating a chemical and everything for Barry to show up.
You know, I regret the last half hour now. Especially that door.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the Resident Evil experience, really.
I should probably gear up if I go into the plant room, right?
Yeah, you probably going to want to bring along a shotgun at least.
I'm probably safe because we haven't done that in a while.
Man, that zombie really sucks at his job.
Yeah. Like, you don't get a better opportunity than that. This time actually take the correct door because I don't want to run into that zombie again.
I think you're also going to want to bring that book along.
Alright. Well, that makes a kind of full inventory.
Well, I don't think you need a lighter anymore.
Yeah, true.
And you're also probably gonna need at least one empty space so that you'll be able to grab that one key in order to unlock the door.
Well,
Pretty sure that key is supposed to be where the beehive was. Which should be safe now, considering that all the bees are dead.
true. Huh. Now that the plant is kinda dead, I should be able to just walk over that, I guess. Part of it.
Actually, I never tried that before, so I'm not really sure about that.
Eh. I'm so glad this guy is part of the environment.
A refugee from the Dreamcast.
I'm slowly running out of these, but let's see if I have the inventory for that.
I think there might have been an item or two in the bathroom there, so might want to check that out.
Really? Again? I forgot they make you do that a lot. Plugging the best tubes. Nothing else in here? Nope. Just that dagger.
I was actually a bit tempted at Gamescom to buy the Umbrella brand umbrella.
Oh, this is where they probably tell me that I can kill the plant with chemicals. Huh. Well. Yeah. I have enough indoor space. And we just saved, I think. So what is the worst that could happen in this room?
What the hell is this thing?
Barry!
Jill!
Barry to the rescue!
This is totally safe handling.
I thought it was finished.
Yeah.
That was close. Thanks again.
Don't mention it. But what was that? What the hell's going on in this place?
You know, a thing I like about this, Barry just storming into rooms with a flamethrower.
Yeah. Must have been picking up from the flamethrower
Something
cave.
about that mansion still bothers me. But I think I'll stay here a little longer. We should split up again and investigate.
All right.
Alright, the key with the helmet. So...
So now I can go back to the mansion and open up all those locked doors.
Yep. That seems to be the plan now. Yeah, I have the inventory space for it.
Wesker.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say.
I apologize. It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
I understand. Anyway, it's good that you're safe.
Did you notice? Barry, he sounded a little flaky.
Now that you mention it, yeah. I'll keep a close eye.
Maybe it's quite natural under these circumstances. It's not really our standard operation. Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
I agree.
There are still rooms in that mansion we can't get into because they're locked up. I've been looking for ways to...
Okay, if there's anything, I'll go back to the other mansion.
I'm counting on you.
Let's go. Be pro shooter. Yay, the tentacle is gone. At least at this point.
Well, this is pretty much, before Wesker pretty much, got all those superpowers that he got in the later games, so I suppose he probably has a bit more trouble with bees than he would have later on.
Before he became cool.
It's always kind of interesting to just go back to the first game because Wesker, as the series went on, just somehow became
Jill!
one of the bigger overarching villains, but
I hear you, Brad. Over.
the first one, he's mostly just kind of a dork.
And then too, you find those pictures of Rebecca in his office, in his desk.
Jill to Brad.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Shine, did you watch the Umbrella Chronicles game?
I actually own a copy of that.
Do you see all the Wesker stories in that one?
Broken.
Yeah, where they pretty much decided to make the storyline even more complicated, that he was somehow involved in practically everything in Resident Evil 1. And then
Yes.
he somehow... And then pretty much before the whole mansion incident, so 24 hours before that, he still had the time to just wander around the areas of Resident Evil 0 and do a whole bunch of shit there. And take down a tyrant that he still decided to pretty much just rendezvous with the rest of the STARS team and go back to the mansion.
Let's also not forget that he killed Jessica.
Totally worth it, fighting that dog.
And then also the whole thing that in the Umbrella Chronicles that he introduced a new character where
Oh yeah, the
apparently
Russian guy.
yeah, Sergei Vladimir, I believe his name was.
That is a kind of silly name.
That's also the chapter where you fight those two Mr. X's while just wall jumping inside an abandoned missile silo, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then you have the second Umbrella Chronicles game, which actually explains who Krauser is and how he's related to Leon. That's still one of the weirdest things about Resident Evil 4 to me. When they introduce Krauser and pretend that he's like this recurring character that you have no idea who he is.
As in that they just introduce him in Resident Evil 4, but then they pretty much pretend he already has a backstory by him mentioning that he died in a crash 3 years ago.
Yeah. They totally pretend that he's a recurring character, but that was his first game. And it's like super confusing. Aren't the hunters going to show up now?
Yup.
Yeah, I think right in front of the safe room. I thought they appear later after another cave, but
Well, later on, you're gonna have to go through the catacombs and everything, and that one also has a fair share of hunters in it.
well, I haven't saved in a while, so not in the mood to fight it.
Though I think at the very least, what's handy about the hunters spawning in is that if there were still areas where there were a bunch of zombies and potentially crimson heads, if the hunters spawn in there, then all the zombies should be gone.
Yep, like in that room next to the stair room, there were 2 zombies, they are not anymore there. Not too difficult to fight, actually. Could have been worse. Well, I just saved. It's getting late. I think with these dead hunters, gonna end the stream for today.
Remember the hunters being a little bit bigger though.
They didn't have budget for bigger hunters.
I think they're about the same height. It's just that in the remake they made them just a little bit bulkier.
They're shorter than Jill now.
Maybe Jill has grown since the first Resident Evil?
I do think she got a bit more leggy since the first game. Well, the original.
But yeah, I guess see you next week. So, goodbye, Internet.
See ya.